Taiwan's top diplomat says Australia must counter what he sees as China's dangerous penetration of the Pacific. In an exclusive interview with Sky News, Foreign Minister Joseph Wu warned of China's increasing sway in Australia's backyard and the potential for conflict.
We just need to pay attention to the expansion of authoritarianism.
China's military expansion threatens Taiwan's very existence, and its expanding diplomatic influence alarms one of Taiwan's most senior officials.
We are very concerned, and I'm sure Australia is also very concerned.
The Foreign Minister told Sky News China is continuing to try to gain sway over Pacific Island nations. It signed a controversial security pact with the Solomon Islands last year and attempted to form similar deals with other nations in the region. It's believed China's Pacific push is not over.
It's right at the doorstep of Australia, and that is something for our concern. And I know Australian government has been waking up to it or acting upon all these indications.
He's encouraged Australia to up its engagement in the Pacific and welcomed a $368 billion AUKUS submarine deal. His comments come in the wake of the release of Australia's Defence Strategic Review, which identified China as the most significant national security threat. Beijing claims the self-ruled Taiwan as its own. It's promised to unify by force if necessary. It carries out routine military drills near the territory and last month simulated an invasion.
They are after Taiwan right now, but they're already after Hong Kong. And now they are going after East China Sea and more intensely going after the South China Sea. And they are penetrating into the Pacific. Under these kinds of circumstances, if any of the democracies is threatened, we need to speak up.
The ANZUS alliance may require Australia to become involved if the United States joins a war with China over Taiwan.
Former Australian Prime Minister Paul Keating said that defending Taiwan is not in Australia's interest. How do you respond to that, and why do you think Australians should fight and die for Taiwan?
We are not asking the Australians to fight and die for Taiwan. That is for sure. But any kind of cooperation in between Taiwan and Australia, security cooperation, economic cooperation, political support, diplomatic support, any kind of support is going to be highly appreciated by the Taiwanese government and the Taiwanese people.
What specifically could Australia do to support Taiwan, particularly if there were to be a hot war? For example, should Australia be willing to block raw mineral exports to China?
It's hard for us to talk about the hot war at this moment. What we have been trying to do and what Australia has been trying to do is to prevent the wars from happening. And before anything that we consider as the worst case scenario, we have to work together to prevent the wars from happening. And
should Australia put that on the table, though? Should perhaps Australia be saying to China, if you do make moves on Taiwan, we will do X, Y, Z? And what should those X, Y, Zs be?
I know some like-minded partners, Europe, the United States, and etc., have been talking about how we can counter the Chinese coercion. And there are anti-coercion measures being discussed. But at this moment, I think it's still too early to discuss about the economic sanctions or other type of sanctions against China.
There appears to be greater urgency around such planning, given the fears in Taiwan and well beyond. Brent O'Halloran, Sky News in Taipei.